A slow morning is a healing balm when you're grieving. In the quiet of the morning, I can feel my ancestors' presence, moving me forward, because on my own, I would stop. And sometimes I do. I give up the desire to continue on. And in that surrender, they show up to help me live, to let me know my loved ones who have left the physical plane have made it safe to them, and that all is well. I can feel their warmth through the first rays of sunlight. They weep with me in the morning rain. They hold me in the silence, and we sway, listening to the birds in the trees. I found a safe space for my tenderness in the silence. There are days where I spend hours not speaking. Sometimes I'm ranting in my mind. Other times I'm listening to the universal hum in my ears. The birds chirping, the fridge making ice, my own heart beating. It is so comforting to not have to say anything, to not have to process anyone else's thoughts or perspectives, not even my own. I'm just here. I've been mourning out loud. My therapist spoke to me about the importance of doing so, allowing myself to grieve in a big way. Because giving grief space helps it to be felt. She identified the healing that comes from the messier parts of grief, the weeping, the longing, the anger, the way your heart feels like it's going to leap out of your chest the moment you realize that they are gone. This all inspires deep connection to God, prayer, community. We are allowed to grieve as much as we need to. And it doesn't have to be politically correct or pretty. It doesn't need to be tucked away at home or in your therapist's office. My ancestors wept out loud. They allowed themselves to free the grief within them. They showed the world how deeply they cared for the person they lost. And they celebrated through elaborate gathering to honor the life lived and the immense loss they felt. There's something so beautiful about joy and grief existing all at once. Joy and grief feel more like twins than I ever realized. They are both full body experiences that shape what you feel and how you see your current reality. They coexist beautifully when you let them, weaving in and out of every moment, allowing you to feel every inch of your existence. I like to call it the bittersweet effect. There are times where I feel so much joy and grief all at once, where I spend time with my niece, and it brings me a sense of joy that I never knew was possible. I am filled with love as if she is my own. When I think of her growing up, I'm excited that I get to be a part of that. It makes me want to take better care of myself so I can be there for her. And somehow, in the midst of all of that joy, it hits me that I will not have these experiences with the child I lost. And I have been adamant and vocal about never wanting kids. And I have my reasons. Mentally and spiritually, I was sound in that decision. And then I found out I was pregnant. I experienced so much internal conflict because emotionally and physically, I wanted this baby. But my hormones completely hijacked my understanding of desire. Even though ultimately my body could not handle the pregnancy. After the miscarriage, I felt an overwhelming amount of grief. And I still feel it from time to time. Missing a child I never dreamed of having, going through postpartum depression, having my body still feel pregnant, watching my partner mourn, not feeling the relief I expected from no longer having to prepare for the biggest responsibility in life, crying every night, missing my baby, praying for their safe return home. I never experienced a loss like that left me angry and yet so aware. But then, as I continued to live life, I realized that these feelings are neither good or bad. They simply exist, reflecting the complexity of my humanity. They are the fullness of this experience. And that is such a beautiful thing to know so intimately in this season of fall as I grieve.